India in the emerging market basket?
I think India would right now be a top 3.
Within India, what kind of sectors or themes would interest you?
The financial services sector, from that perspective, to look at broadly, again, over 5 or 10 year view. One of the export sectors, because which effectively benefits from global growth, I think those would be 2 sectors.
This is TV18 and you're watching CNBC TV18.
Brought to you by HSBC Commercial Banking.
Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.
There is an unusual trend I've been noticing in the Indian auto ancillary sector. Here, the entry strategy seems to be ensuring that you have the right connections. A family connection, or friends in high places, or simply a godfather. I know of at least a dozen companies in this space which came into being because of these reasons. But by stating these reasons, I'm in no way belittling these successful companies or their spirit of entrepreneurship. The point I'm making is that this seems to be the peculiarity of the auto ancillary sector, where you don't set up a factory first, manufacture product, and then start hunting for clients. It is the other way around. Also, most of the auto ancillary players start as a single product and single client company, at least in the initial 4-5 years of their operation. So this initial connection is like a visa that lands you a job abroad. But after that, you're on your own, and your success depends on your performance. And this week's episode demonstrates this very well. Some 3 decades ago, Anurang Jain, blessed by his maternal uncle Rahul Bajaj, set up Endurance Technologies to manufacture aluminium die casting components for Bajaj Auto. The company started off well, but for factors beyond Jain's control, it hit a rocky patch. One big mistake Jain realized he made was putting all his egg into one basket. So to insulate his business, he rejigged his strategy, and that has paid him off big time. Take a look at Endurance story and you'll know how to utilize the adverse time to discover new secrets of survival and growth.
The 80s was the age of the two-wheelers, and Bajaj Auto was the undisputed leader. Rahul Bajaj, who headed Bajaj Auto, was an inspiration for many people, including his twin nephews Anurang and Tarang Jain. Being a benevolent maternal uncle, he supported his nephews to start their own venture. Thus began the entrepreneurial journey for the Jain brothers in 1985. Both are commerce graduates from Sydenham College in Mumbai and MBA postgraduates from foreign institutes, and come from a well-to-do family. With an investment of 25 lakh rupees taken from family wealth, they set up an aluminium die casting unit named Anurang Engineering to cater exclusively to Bajaj Auto. The unit was set up in Aurangabad to take advantage of the backward region incentives offered by the Maharashtra government. But the first 10 years proved extremely tough for the two brothers. They found it a huge challenge to establish themselves with other clients, and Bajaj Auto remained its only client till as late as 2004. Besides, a labour unrest at Bajaj Auto right at the start of their entrepreneurial journey, coupled with the Gulf crisis in 1991, saw the first decade riddled with hurdles. It was in 2002 that the brothers realized that their interests are different and decided to part ways amicably and concentrate on businesses close to their hearts. Thus, Anurang took control of the aluminium die casting business operating under Anurang Engineering and shock absorber business operating under Endurance Technologies, while his brother Tarang took over Varroc Polymers. The decision to part ways proved right, as both the brothers are doing extremely well. From a turnover of 100 crore rupees in 1999-2000, and with Bajaj Auto as its only client, today Endurance Technologies boasts of a rich clientele with turnover touching 4,245 crore rupees in 2013-2014. Every major two-wheeler and three-wheeler maker like Honda, Kawasaki, Yamaha, Royal Enfield, Piaggio to every major passenger car major like BMW, Audi, Daimler, Fiat, General Motors, Hyundai, Suzuki are the company's loyal clients. And the reason for such good tidings is Anurang's decision to move to proprietary products, which gave Endurance a competitive edge in the marketplace. Endurance concentrated on four main areas: suspension, transmission, braking, and aluminium die casting. Today, casting and machining contributes to 60% of its turnover, suspension 29%, transmission 7%, and brakes 5%. What gave a big boost to Endurance in 2006 is bagging an order from Honda Motorcycles. Endurance for the first time moved out of Maharashtra and set up a new aluminium die casting plant in Manesar, Gurgaon in 2006 to cater to Honda Motorcycles. Till date, Honda Motorcycles is the big client of Endurance and has committed to source from Endurance for all its future expansion plans in India.
Endurance has been a consistently reliable supplier for HMSI ever since we started our business relationship with them for our two factories in North. For our third factory in Bangalore, which we put up last year, we had developed some chassis parts such as front forks and rear cushions for our motorcycles as well as scooters, besides the ongoing business of die casting parts. So based on their good performance in these parts, we have now decided to further expand our business with them for our fourth factory in Gujarat. So accordingly, we will be sourcing die casting parts and these chassis parts, which I said front forks and rear cushions, in our fourth factory.
The Honda account gave Endurance the confidence to spread itself across India and across a diverse set of clients. In 2006, it set up two plants in Pune to cater to Bajaj, Tata Motors, General Motors. In 2007, it set up two new plants at Pantnagar, Uttarakhand for the manufacture of casting, suspension and transmission products for Bajaj Auto, and a casting plant in Chennai to cater to clients like Hyundai. All these initiatives paid off and Endurance Technologies' turnover zoomed to 1,370 crore rupees in 2006-2007. But what saw Endurance take that major leap is its bold move of going in for a spate of acquisitions and technical tie-ups beginning 2007. Endurance bought 100% stake in Amann Druckers, Germany for 194 crore rupees in 2007 and took up 51% stake in two companies in Italy, Nuova Renault Press and Fondalmec. It increased its stake in Fondalmec to 100% in 2008 and sold its stake in Nuova Renault Press in 2010. Endurance funded the acquisitions, placing 13% stake with Standard Chartered Private Equity Fund and a large portion via debt. Standard Chartered sold its stake to the private equity player Actis Investment in 2012. All the three acquired European companies with their 5 manufacturing plants gave Endurance a combined aluminium die casting capacity of about 15,000 tons and brought with it marquee clients like Daimler, Fiat, Renault, Piaggio, General Motors and Opel.
We have the German company called Amann Druckers and the Italian company called Fondalmec, the operating company. They contributed more than 25% in 2013-14, and they contributed quite significantly to our bottom line also. So we want this percentage to continue in the foreseeable future, and in our strategic plan, which envisions up to 2000, which we have looked at up to 2020, we believe that this scenario should continue. This mix should continue because it again provides some kind of de-risking, and also this continuous exposure to overseas customers, OEMs, the global names, We believe that association does a world of good not only to the European piece, but it has some flowback effect on India also.
But the timing proved wrong. The global economic downturn of 2008 hit the company hard. While Endurance did manage to increase its turnover from 1,370 crore rupees in 2006-2007 to 2,346 crore rupees in 2008-2009, it made book losses in 2008-2009. Endurance did everything to get back on track. Jain stopped all new investments. He let go of loss-making businesses. Anurang went in for consolidation of plants and thus reduced the number of plants from 18 in India to 16. He cut costs by outsourcing non-critical operations to third-party vendors. The company went in for greater automation and focused more on R&D. All this helped to bring Endurance back to black in 2009-2010. Since then, there was no looking back. Acquisitions have paid off, as 26% of Endurance's turnover today comes from overseas markets.
Regarding the turnover, the strategy for the future, as you know, in this moment, all the car makers are doing huge investment in order to reduce the weight of the car, in order to respect the reduction in terms of pollution required by the European Community from 2020. And it will mean an important increase of aluminium component. And for this reason, as Endurance, we are doing important investment in order to maintain our position in the powertrain business, but in order to enter in the structural parts segment for body and chassis, because we think that this is the best way to grow, maintaining our profitability, because in this kind of business, the investment are very higher, not only in terms of fixed asset, but in terms of people and research and development. And as you can imagine, this moment in Europe, not all our competitors are available and able to do this.
Endurance Technologies has been growing at an average rate of 30% over the last 5 years, touching a turnover of 4,245 crore rupees in 2013-2014. The company has recently done 2 more acquisitions in Europe, taking the total number of plants to 6 in Europe. Clearly, Anurang Jain is betting big on the future. He expects Endurance to grow by over 2-fold in the next 6 years. Is that possible? On that note, time for a short break. When we come back, we talk to the 52-year-old Anurang Jain about his game plan. Also joining us on the show is Sandeep Uppal of HSBC. Stay tuned.
Did you know that 3 out of 5 English business news viewers watch